Doing a quick morning live for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I just want to talk about jealousy, bro. Um, a lot of the times, a lot of people have jealousy in their hearts, and they're quick to envy another person. Uh, you know, one of the most viral news on Twitter or X is French Montana marrying the princess of Dubai or something like that. And bro, there's so many people online like, man, I wish I was in his position. How did he get so lucky? And wow, he just struck gold. He hit the jackpot, and they're saying all these things, but in a sense, all those statements are really coming from a place of envy, jealousy, like, and they're wishing they was in his position of being married to the queen or princess of Dubai or whatever. But personally, you never really know what a person is really experiencing, bro. Yeah, whatever a person may be experiencing looks good from the outside perspective, but until you're in that position, you shouldn't really be jealous. You shouldn't really want their life, and that's how most people think, man. They see something that looks good from the outside, and they immediately get jealous of another individual. They want their life. All of a sudden, they want to trade places with them, and from the looks of it, man, personally, I don't think French Montana is winning so much because this is an individual that was with Diddy at some point, man. Now everybody that's been with Diddy kind of had to go through some type of traumatic experience, sacrificial experience, so forth and so on. So everybody seeing French Montana with the Princess of Dubai, they getting jealous because they're thinking on a money standpoint, like, oh my God, he became royalty, and but you never know what dealings is really transpiring behind the scenes, bro. You don't know why French Montana had to marry the princess of Dubai. You don't know what deals he signed to where that's a part of his job. And people need to stop being so envious or jealous of what they see others have. A lot of people are envious or jealous, but I'm telling you, bro, French Montana in that picture doesn't look excited. He doesn't look happy. He just looks kind of like, I'm just here. And then the princess of Dubai is like, personally, bro, French Montana has been with better looking women, bro. So a lot of guys are just envious, man. They a lot of the guys seeing him online, they're like, oh my God, French Montana is royalty now. How did he get so lucky? And personally, the woman he's with, it doesn't even really look like he really likes her. So when I look at those type of things, I'm looking at it like they got to be from a contract perspective, bro. A contract perspective is like he probably didn't want to really marry this lady, but he kind of had to. You know what I'm saying? He kind of had to. And y'all got to really open your minds up. Like, a lot of these artists, bro, once the money is over, it's like, what's the next best move? The next best move might just be, marrying the princess of Dubai. Why not? Because there's money involved. It doesn't look like it's about love. It just looks like it's a money move. It's one of those setups. Yo, YKJ Edits, what's up? It just looks like one of those setups where it's like, you know, you kind of out of money at this point. Your career's over. When's the last time French Montana even dropped a album or mixtape? He hasn't dropped anything in a long time. He ain't dropped nothing post the Diddy situation. And this was one of Diddy's main artists supporting Ciroc, all that stuff. But personally, I think this more is a money move, man. And as a man, do not be jealous of another person. I can't speak for women because, I don't know how they think, but don't see a guy in a position and be like, oh, I want to be in that position. I wish that was me. How did he get so lucky? Because you don't know what he had to do to get in that position. Personally, from my perspective, I think French Montana is currently broke. He's currently broke. When I say he's currently broke, when I remember French Montana being up, a lot of those times required him being around P. Diddy. A lot of those times, if you go think back to his careers, when he was making music, he was sponsored by Ciroc. He was always with Diddy, bro. Always with Diddy. So that's where the money was coming from. That's where a lot of French Montana's money is coming from. Diddy, bro. Diddy's money took care of a lot of people for a long time. You gotta realize, like, oh, okay, Diddy really just went through a financial audit. When I say a financial audit, bro, all the cases he was fighting, they took all his money. He might have a little bit of money left, but he don't got enough money to take care of all these guys. And a lot of these musicians, bro, they run out of money. When you look at French Montana, he's been a Diddy artist for a minute. He's one of the main ones by Diddy's side. You know what I'm saying? Now, French Montana, I personally think he's broke. And from a perspective of saying that, I'm just saying on a celebrity level. Sure, he has 10,000, 20,000, but when you talk about celebrities having money, French Montana's probably ran out of the money. And in his best interest, he was like, look, the music thing is over for me. Why is it over for him? Because, bro, everybody in the music industry has been kind of going down. Yeah, KDS, I'm doing like a voice only live right now. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like everybody in the music industry kind of is out of money right now, really, bro. So he looked at his option and said, "Oh, what's my best option?" My man went and got the princess of Dubai. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the princess of Dubai, bro, she look like a regular Cali girl, bro. I'm I'm gonna be honest, like like she look like a regular girl out in Cali, bro. And yeah, and the fact that she looks like a regular girl in Cali, it doesn't make sense that French Montana would literally marry her. So when you look at it from that point, when you look at it from that point, yeah, Polo G fell off. Travis Scott, bro, Eminem fell off. All of those guys you name it fell off. Now you got to start looking around and see what rappers and artists are doing. They're looking for the next business opportunity because you're not gonna be a celebrity and live such a lifestyle and you run out of money and now you can't maintain this lifestyle. When I say that is, for instance, I Love McConan. The rapper that went going up on a Tuesday. Got the girls in the club today Tuesday. Got the club going up with Drake. He's working a regular job. And there's nothing wrong with working a regular job. But I tell you that because I want you guys to understand what I'm saying, that a lot of these people are running out of money. They don't have no more money left. They don't have the big checks coming in because a lot of the people in the music industry behind the scenes are going down. Yup, Jim Carrey had to come back because he ran out of money. So a lot of the people that are like, oh my God, I want to be French Montana. I wish I could marry the Princess of Dubai. And bro, that is a money move, bro. That is nothing but a money move. Because I'm going to tell you, French Montana has dated much more attractive women. He has a certain type, bro. And I'm not saying the queen of the Princess of Dubai is ugly, but it just doesn't really fit something that he would date, from people I've seen him with in the past. And a lot of people got to stop looking at things from just a superficial, basic level. It's deep. A lot of people online was like, man, how does this guy get so lucky? He keeps hitting the jackpot. How is he getting all these women? He went from this one to this one. That's an upgrade. And it's like, bro, it's all about the money. He's over there because of the money. That's it. I think that lady already has a kid. I think that the Princess of Dubai already has a kid. So you gotta think like French Montana wanted to go marry a single mom. Nah, he wanted to get that money. He know that look, if I'm connected to the daughter of the king of Dubai or whatever, Prince of Dubai's daughter, I could be rich forever. That's what it is. It's all about the money. And even you gotta look at even some celebrities that have to perform. Some of these people, bro, they're so old, but you see them having to perform like do concerts, bro. I don't. Nobody wants to perform at 50 years old, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Yeah, but because what you gotta understand, KDS, is you can't keep. It's hard to keep that money when you live a certain lifestyle. And you're like, what do you mean, YS? Well, let's say I got a mansion, bro. I got a Lambo Urus. I got a Ferrari. You know, I live in Cali. Like, bro, this is a certain lifestyle. Meaning that this ain't no regular lifestyle, bro. This is a lifestyle where I have to maintain everything. So what does that mean? I gotta pay the mansion bills. You know, if something happens to the Lambo, the Ferrari, or any of the cars, I have to pay for them to get fixed. That's not a regular payment. You know what I mean? That's not a regular fee. That's like a different fee. That's like beyond average. You know what I mean? So if you're not making enough money to maintain this lifestyle, you're gonna run out of money, bro. That's the truth for anything you're doing. You're gonna run out of money. You gotta literally be making more than what you're spending. And a lot of these people, they're not making that much money off of music. To be honest with you, they're not getting paid that much. They get a little like they get like droplets while the label takes a lot of the money. So that's why you always see a lot of your favorite celebrity going broke, NBA player going broke, because the money that they're receiving and the lifestyle that they're living, it doesn't fit. Yeah, I mean, let me say one thing though. You always gotta remember this. Like, no disrespect to Kendrick Lamar, bro, but listen. One thing I want you to understand about being a celebrity is once you're currently relevant, you're gonna be making money, bro. You know what I mean? So Kendrick Lamar is still being used, gang. What does that mean? The label still uses Kendrick Lamar for specific reasons. To push the civil activist vibes. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, Kendrick is not gonna be looking broke or bummy. He's getting money right now. Why is he getting money? Because he's still working with the label. Like when you look at French Montana, he hasn't dropped music in forever, bro. He's not working with Diddy no more, bro. Since that stuff transpired with Diddy, I'm sure what he did was try to separate himself from Diddy, because everyone that was linked with Diddy during the whole Diddy case, Diddy filed, everybody separated themselves from Diddy for that reason, so they wouldn't be a part of his case or be investigated. Now Kendrick Lamar, bro, the label still likes Kendrick Lamar. Why do they still like Kendrick Lamar? He did a Super Bowl show. I mean, his song is played on the radio. His song, They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. It was played on the radio back to back to back to back, almost every radio station. So those are signs that, look, Kendrick is still good. He's still making money. Why? Because he's being used and he's relevant. French Montana is not relevant, bro. Most relevant news from French Montana was him marrying the princess of Dubai. He's not making money like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not making money like that. So when you start looking at some of your favorite celebrities and you see that they're not relevant, it's because the label doesn't need them no more, bro. They're not relevant because the label don't need to use them no more. They're played out. You know what I'm saying? Label probably got a new young star, young artist that they feel like, look, this person here is more useful than this person we was using. And then now they start investing in that person. And the reason why the older artist is gonna run out of money, because in order to make money, once you're a celebrity, bro, you gotta be selling records. You gotta be doing shows. You gotta be performing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing any of that back to back, you're going broke. Why are you going broke? You got a certain lifestyle. You got the mansion. You got the jacuzzi. You got the 7 foreign cars. You got to maintain. You got to pay the bills. So if you're not selling out as far as concert, you're selling out music, you're gonna go broke. You're gonna go broke, and only a few celebrities, bro, they understand like, okay, this money that I'm getting it's not gonna come forever. I need to start a business that I can live off of when all is said and done. You have some celebrities that open up car washes. I mean, he's at 500,000. Like Dennis Rodman, he's at 500,000. Wow, like 5 years ago, he's making five. But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying right there. And the only reason Dennis Rodman has some money is because he had some financial advisors who probably helped him establish a business. This is the same for athletes, bro. If you look at Delonte West is homeless. You know what I mean? Because he's not making that much money as he once was when he was playing with the Cavs, the Celtics. And this is what happens to a lot of celebrities. And a lot of people get jealous of these guys. Like, man, I wish I was in their position. And no, you don't wish you was in their position, because the lifestyle in which these people live is hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain without being fully controlled. What do I mean fully controlled? Like, when French Montana was making all the money, he was controlled by Diddy. He was always with Diddy. He was doing commercials for Diddy, advertising for Diddy. He doing a lot for Diddy to make this money. When all that dries up, he's not making as much money no more. You don't see him as much. He's not dropping music. So when all that was over, he sat down and was like, man, what's my best option? And marrying the Princess of Dubai was his best option. Marrying the Princess of Dubai. He said one person I couldn't see going broke is 50 Cent. Nah, but the 50 Cent is still controlled. So it's important, bro. Listen, one thing I don't want you guys to think is like, oh, a celebrity's good if they're not going broke. No, bro. What I'm trying to tell you is most celebrities won't go broke if they're not being controlled. If they're not being controlled, that's when celebrities go broke. So when I say, oh, 50 Cent still controlled, what do I mean by that, bro? 50 Cent is used to make certain type of movies. Like most of 50 Cent movies, he has to do it a certain way to keep making these movies. If he doesn't do it a certain way, they won't approve it. Although 50 Cent looks like he's the main boss, but he has to answer to someone, bro. So that's why he can still make a lot of money. He has shows like Power, 50, what is it? The Meech, Big Meech. He had show like Power, shows for like the 50 Boys with Meech's son. But if you start looking at the shows, bro, all of them are about selling drugs. All of them about, being a gangster. You know what I mean? 50 Cent can't make no other movies besides that if he wants to keep making money. This is what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, or Get Rich or Die Trying. But if you look at all 50 Cent movies, they're not positive. They all are about the same thing. So this is how he makes the money, bro. He has to make all the movies like that. If he makes the movies different, he's not making money, bro. Like this is the same thing for artists. You gotta make a certain type of music. You're not making that certain type of music, it's over. So you gotta start realizing, like, dang, these people really, they're only rich when they're making money. Then it starts to make sense. Why do they lose money when they're not controlled? Because in order for them to keep making this money, they gotta do certain things. They gotta put out certain stuff. I mean, like even Lil Nas X, bro. Lil Nas X just went viral recently for walking around in the street of LA. Guess he was kind of like going crazy or something. This and that. And yo, what's up, Los Galacticos? My boy from Turkey. Lil Nas X, he was popular at one point, right? That's when he was making the music they wanted him to make. Now you barely hear about this guy. Only reason you hear about this guy recently is because they claim something's wrong with him. But ain't nothing wrong with him except for he's just not being used like he was before, bro. That's the key. So looking at somebody's life and envying them and be like, man, I wish I was in that position. You don't know what they did to get in that position. Personally, when I look at French Montana, I look at French Montana as somebody that's at the end of his ropes. And this is man, Lil Nas X has been controlled the whole time he's been an artist. He's been controlled the whole time he's been an artist. All the money he's made is because he did everything he was asked to do. Now they don't need him no more. Once you see these people don't need these guys, women, artists, you start to see crazy, weird stuff happen to them. You know what I mean? You start to see a person go broke, a person not get paid. It's like Lil Nas X ain't supposed to be walking in the street off of drugs. What happened to him? They don't need the guy no more. And all right, KES, have a good day, man. Be smooth. You know, I love you, bro. Stay positive. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of fact where it's like, man, a lot of these people don't envy them. Don't want to be in their life. Don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Don't want to be jealous of them because there's nothing they're doing that you can't do for yourself. Everything they're doing it for someone else who's paying them, bro. You know what I'm saying? And personally, it's like, bro, if you want to marry the queen of Dubai, you could. Without the way French Montana did it. French Montana just married that lady for the bag. That's a marital agreement. Cause currently she's a single mom, I think. I don't think nobody just marrying no random single moms. You gotta be the princess of Dubai. That's the only that's the only way it's gonna happen, gang. Like, ain't no random dude just marrying a single mom just cause you gotta have the bag. And this is what a lot of these guys gotta do to maintain a lifestyle, bro. A lot of these people gotta maintain their lifestyle, but they're not business savvy enough to where they can maintain that lifestyle off the money they've received. They're not. A lot of them don't set up businesses that's gonna help them out when it's all said and done. A lot of these celebrity stars, bro, listen, they gotta perform till they're like 85. Sometimes you see people performing and they're so old, they barely have energy. You're like, dang, why they still performing? Because they have to. If they stop, the lights is off, the bills is off. And you gotta think a lot of these people, bro, they never work normal jobs. They never worked a normal job, so if all they know is receiving money from someone else, it's almost impossible for them to want to work a normal job because that's something they don't know. That's something they didn't grow up experiencing. Which is why it's so easy to just do something for someone else to make some money. So don't be jealous, envying celebrities' lives and actors' lives. Bro, it's not the best life, bro. It's a terrible life. It's a life where you literally gotta make another person happy, do what they want to make enough money to even live a lifestyle you want. You feel me? Don't never envy that, bro. Never. Never envy celebs, singers, rappers. You know, I see too many guys online like, man, I wish I was in French Montana's position, bro. I wish I was with the queen of Dubai, the princess of Dubai. It's like, bro, French Montana's only over there for the money. That's it, bro. French Montana has no other outlets to get this money. Like Diddy probably ain't rocking with him. Diddy need all the money he has for himself at this point. French Montana is not popping in the music. Nobody's checking for Coke Boys. Nobody's checking for French Montana to drop some music. So this is his out. This is the only outlet. The only outlet is to marry the princess of Dubai, man. There's no other outlets for this guy. And marrying the princess of Dubai, he can solidify the bag. You know what I'm saying? Besides solidifying the bag, he becomes trending. This is a trending topic. So French Montana marries a lady from Dubai, the princess. He solidifies the money, and he goes viral. You telling me French Montana not a businessman? He's a smart businessman. This is a smart business move. Because you gotta think, why would her dad, the king of Dubai, want French Montana to marry his daughter? I mean, he has a little bit of status. He's a famous rapper. That's for one. Because, I mean, when you look at Dubai is based off of, like, customs, bro. So, personally, I look at the girl's dad, and I'm like, she don't want French Montana to marry her. She don't want her to marry French Montana. But he will do it because of the status. Because I looked up this girl. Everybody was saying she was ugly. She's not really ugly, bro, but 9 times out of 10, this is not what French Montana usually goes for. French Montana only went for this lady because she had the money. She's the princess. This is going to make him go viral. He's going to be talked about again. Besides that, he secured a bag. And this is what it's about for these people. Now his lifestyle of luxury and all that is taken care of. He just solidified a bag with the princess of Dubai, gang. He's good. So a lot of people don't understand that the person you're envying, they have to do certain things to secure their happiness, bro. For instance, he has to marry someone richer than him to live. Because he can't go back to a normal lifestyle like you and I. Because he's used to making money. He's used to getting paid a lot of money. He's used to living luxury, being luxurious, having a certain lifestyle. So once you start understanding these things, you no longer envy these people. Because you start to realize, hold on, they gotta do a lot for that. They gotta go through this for that. They gotta jump through this for that. There's no need for me to envy that person. Because it's easy for you to see a celebrity, you think they're winning, and then you envy them like, oh man, I wish that was me, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a business compromise. I'm sure the girl, the princess of Dubai, she wanted to marry another Dubai rich guy, but the only reason she settled for French Montana because it's popularity. She's like, okay, I'm married to the American rapper. I'm sure the other guy, he had a lot of money or whatever, but he wasn't a rapper. He didn't have that status. Because besides her picking French Montana, dude, there's a lot of people in Dubai with a lot of money. A lot of money. And at the end of the day, I feel like it came down to the status. French had a popular status. He knows Diddy. He's kind of popular in the sense of who he is. The lady is the princess of Dubai. This is a business status move. There's guys online saying, oh, man, I would trade my marriage to be in his position. No, you don't want to be in his position. This is for business. He's doing this for business and money. Maybe you genuinely love your wife, bro. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a love situation. This is business. So don't be quick to envy another person's situation. You don't know what's going on. People are so quick to jump to conclusion like, oh my God, his life is better. He's lucky. You don't know what's going on, bro. French didn't want to be over there. He needed that money. Every guy in the comment section, they pointed it out. They like, man, imagine going from a fall off rapper to royalty. Because that's what it is. He just upgraded to royalty. You know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't do that if no money was involved. Especially a single mother. Because that lady got a baby, I think. So French Montana went and married a single mom. Only because she has money. And she's the queen, the princess of Dubai. Eventually she will become the queen, bro. So he looked at that as a business opportunity. Because I'm telling you, bro, French has got some beautiful women in the past. But he got those women at the height of his career. Why? Because he had the money, he had the clout. He was with Diddy, he was doing his thing. I mean, Kanye did the same thing with Kim Kardashian. When you look at when Kanye got with Kim Kardashian, that was a power move. That was a business move. Because personally, if you look at Kanye's personality, I don't know if you guys ever watched any episodes on the show. Do you think Kanye fit with the Kardashians? Like think about it from a characteristics perspective. Like on a real note, if you sit there and you think of Kanye's personality, and then you think about all the Kardashians' personalities, it's not a match. Yeah, the French Montana story is real. It's not fake, bro. French Montana made a business move. He married the princess of Dubai. This lady has a child already. And what I'm trying to tell y'all, like, don't see that and be envious and be like, oh, man, I wish I could be with the princess of Dubai. No, that's a business. That's business. That's business. Shorty married French Montana because of the status quo. French Montana married her because she's rich. It's a business move because you got to think this is a rapper who hasn't made any hits. He doesn't have any major singles going on right now. He's losing money. He's not making enough money. He doesn't have enough money. So he thought like, okay, how do I get back? Okay, maybe I can kill two birds with one stone. Probably married the princess of Dubai, and he went viral because that story made the news. It went viral, and he solidified the bag. You know what I'm saying, Paul? That's all it is. People seeing that are like, man, what? He's so lucky. How did he strike gold and this and that? And it's like, bro, this is business. That man is from New York, bro. French Montana from New York, bro. French Montana is from New York City, bro. That he's from New York City, man. And I wanted to make this live because I don't want people to that's even crazier. Exactly. Like my man's from New York, he pulled the shorty from Dubai, but those are business transactions, man. Business transactions. Because the lady herself, she's not ugly, but she's not the best looking woman that French has went for. French has went for some decent women in the industry, bro. And the women, some of the fine women that he pulled in the industry was at the height of his career. That's when he was bad boy. He was a model for a Ciroc. All that is over. When's the last time Diddy did anything for Ciroc, bro? It's been a minute. So French ain't getting that bag. When those people cut off Diddy, It cut off everybody attached to Diddy. French was attached to Diddy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that money got cut off. I'm not calling French Montana broke, but in his perspective, he couldn't really go back to a regular lifestyle. What's a regular lifestyle? The one me and you live. We don't have a mansion. We don't have thousands, 4 or 5 foreign cars. A lot of this stuff is hard to maintain, especially if you got a house that you ain't paid off. Even if you paid off the house, you got water bills, you got electricity, you got other maintenance, yard maintenance. You probably got home housing tax. So all of these things still need to be paid for. Then forget that, you got your cars that you have to maintain, oil changes. Um, I don't even know what an oil change might be on a Lamborghini, or anything that's like a high end car is not a regular price. So these are the reasons why people like these they have to make business transactions. I'm sure it kind of like probably he's probably working on that, bro. You said if Biggie was her, what do you think he would feel about Diddy right now? I mean, right now, bro, nobody wants to be linked with Diddy, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Anybody that was linked with Diddy, when all that stuff was going on with the case, nobody wanted to be connected to that guy. The only person that kind of like supported Diddy during that time was Kanye. But when the cases was going on with Diddy, Cassie, and all these guys, bro, nobody wanted to be linked with that guy. I mean, yeah, a lot of those guys say they're bad boy for life, but that's because the money's coming in, bro. Like even with the let me pivot real quick. Let's go to the Young Thug situation. Young Thug clearly just released information corroborated with the police, right? One of the individuals in which Young Thug listed or mentioned has already served 10 years for a crime relative. Now, this same individual goes online to defend young Thug. Why do you think this individual who served 10 years will go and defend Young Thug? Because he's getting money from Young Thug. Because imagine me doing 10 years for something Paul Witt. That's something that happened with Paul Witt, right? Boom. I done did most of the time. I'm out already. But then Paul Witt has another situation going on, but then he brings me up. He mentions me again. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Byron? And Paul Witt mentioning me again. It's like, yo, bro, why would you bring me up? I already did 10 years for this. That would be my natural reaction, you see me? But instead, guess what happens? This gentleman goes online and he defends Young Thug. He's like, I don't know what you guys are saying. Young Thug is not a snitch. He's one of the realest guys. He kept it real. You know what I'm saying? He didn't snitch on me. Why would you say that if this guy is not paying you? Keep in mind, you already done 10 years for a situation relating to this person. You feel me? Now, this person just brings you up again in another situation that you have literally nothing to do with, bro. They just bringing your name up. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Woody gets paid, bro. You gotta understand. Woody is a federal informant, bro. Because Woody is from Atlanta, bro. I'm gonna tell you, Atlanta guys, they wild out. So the fact that Woody was able to openly go on the stand, take the stage, discuss all the facts, mention every detail, and roam around Atlanta and nothing happening to him, he's protected. Because I don't know how people think, bro. It's like in the hood, if you're not protected, guys are gonna come get you. Woody's protected, bro. Woody single-handedly is the coolest snitch. You think about how people are mad at Gunner. Nobody's mad at Woody like that. Woody was a gangster too, supposedly. Woody was supposed to be supposedly more gangster than Gunner. But nobody is mad at Woody on the level that they're mad at Gunner. Why is that? It doesn't make sense, bro. Woody told, if not even more than Gunna, all Gunna said was yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am. Gunna said yes. Gunna said yes, ma'am, 3 times, bro. And I'm not justifying none of the streets. I don't care about that stuff, but I'm just giving y'all perspective. Everyone was still, you know, upset with Gunna for saying yes, ma'am. But everybody's cheers up Woody. Everybody loves Woody. Why is that? And it's like Woody has to be protected because there's no way, bro. If people are really living by the streets, there's no way people would be so happy with Woody and be so upset with Gunna. Somebody's paying protection for Woody. Woody's protected. Because in the A, bro, you know, they don't condone the no snitching and all this, but someone who's an open snitch, who's took the stands, who's been did testimony almost every day in the courtroom, told every detail, and they like love this guy. Yeah, bro, what he told on the whole YSL. What he testified, bro. Snitching in the black culture, snitching is considered giving some information where your name is somebody or testifying. What he testified, bro. What he took the stands. What he literally told everything he knew. And he didn't do any jail time. Really. None. So how can a person be involved in mad situations involving crime but not do no jail time? How? It doesn't make sense, bro. When people think about it, it doesn't make sense. All right, cool. Forget him not doing jail time. This guy is a street guy. He's a gangster. He's moving with gangsters, you know, Bloods or whatever. You telling me that all of these Bloods are supportive of this guy to where he can come back to the hood, he's still alive, he's moving around freely, he doesn't have security, then the streets is not real. Because people were so upset with Gunna. Y'all all remember how they was so obsessed with Gunna for saying, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Gunna ain't say nothing but yes, ma'am, bruh. Because when you take a plea deal, you gotta admit to something. When I was younger, I had a underage drink and drive. I took a plea deal. In the plea deal, you know, I was admitting to drinking and driving underage, but it was gonna get dropped to a misdemeanor. This is what happens in a plea deal. So I had to be like, yes, I was drinking and driving. That dropped it to a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way for you to like get off without admitting. You said nobody in that hood is actually connected to the situation enough to actually want to harm a Fed. It's not about wanting to harm a Fed, bro. It's just everybody in that hood is connected to the situation, bro. It's just the purpose of me saying is the hood is the streets is not a real place because people are gonna pick and choose and they're selective on who they say is a snitch and who's not a snitch, who's real and who's not real, who's gangster and who's not gangster. That's all they're gonna do. Cause if Woody was so gangster, Woody wouldn't be free right now, bro. He'd be locked up. He wouldn't be free. You know what I'm saying? If Woody wasn't protected by the government, bro, Woody wouldn't be walking around Atlanta like that, gang. Look, think about the gun laws in Atlanta, bro. Everybody out there got a pipe. So if Woody was really not protected, he was somebody that they could just get to, they would have got to Woody a minute ago. They would have got to him. So when you start looking at the streets, you gotta start looking at music with this guy. People didn't want to talk to this guy because he said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. When Woody snitched and took the stands, after Woody took the stands, Woody came out, he's doing 20v1s. He's doing interviews. He's openly talking about the case. He's naming people. So you telling me this guy's a gangster or with the police? It sounds like a guy that's with the police. So when y'all start looking at all these street gangsters, y'all gotta start realizing like, yo, these guys are cops. The streets is not a real place. The whole non-snitching thing is fake. Because everybody's gonna tell if they get that get out of jail free card. You think they not using that? Come on. Everybody's using that jail free card, bro. Everyone. Nobody wants to do no jail time with a bunch of men where they have to be tough, especially if they're not tough, even if they're out in the real world acting tough. Yeah, they did something to the barber. He talked about everything he did. He admitted to the crime. So you that's why I say people don't have the ability to think, and it's like he did it all on stand, it's recorded, it's on YouTube. How can this guy still be free? How? It's no way. Openly admitting to everything he did. It's a lot of people that were like, oh, Woody's a real dude. He went on there, he's playing games with the prosecution. Bro, how can you play games with the prosecution? You're not playing no games with the prosecution, bro. They're literally asking you specific questions relating to the case, relating to the crime. There is no going up there and bamboozling the prosecution. Everything you're saying in court is getting written down. So you can't go back and be like, oh, I didn't say that. There's somebody typing everything you say, bro. There's a person drawing a picture of how you look. Right. Paul Witt, now you on something. The fact that this man a felon and he could still have firearms, nah, it's not making it's not making sense, bro. But I tell y'all this stuff because a lot of people, somebody might envy a Woody and be like, man, look, Woody snitch and he's a cool snitch. Like, I want to be like that. And it's like, oh, bro, you're not protected by the feds because there's no way you're going to go in court, openly admit to harming this person, committing this crime, get free, walk around in your neighborhood, no protection, you're not worried. Bro, what? It's people in my city that got to move cities or move states because, quote unquote, you know, they snitch. These guys are not protected by anything. Nobody's protecting these guys. They literally got to move, bro. Why you think a lot of dudes from Chicago moved to California? Because of exactly what I'm saying right now. It was either they had too much issues right in Chicago to where if they didn't move, like Chief Keef, if he didn't move, Chief Keef, he was in danger. Nobody was protecting Chief Keef. Chief Keef had to go to Cali for the exact same reason of what I'm saying right now. It's a lot of dudes besides Chief Keef that had to do that, bro. Like, move states because they had real, bro, in Chicago, it's really like you're not acting like Woody and then you're going to be walking around Chicago, bro. Only way you're going to do that is if you're protected by the government. Meaning that anybody that's going to come get you, they understand they can't come get you because that's a federal indictment. Meaning that the feds got you protected, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be the only reason why a person won't come get you. Otherwise, you gotta move. Chief Keef had to move. Besides Chief Keef, Lil Zay Osama had to move. These are just some people from Chicago living in California, bro. Yeah, that Von 1700 kid, I just think he's like, he's not really like that for real. You know what I'm saying? He's not really like that for real, man. And I've seen him. He just remind me of like a wannabe G Herbo type guy or something. But bro, what I'm telling you is true, bro. Everybody that was really a threat, a problem in Chicago, that had problems in Chicago, they got wiped away. FBG Duck, King Von, and these are guys that you know, they either had to leave or that was the outcome, bro. If King Von, if FBG Duck probably would have left Chicago, you know, maybe things could have been better for him. But then with FBG Duck, it was like he felt like it was nowhere else he could have went. Because a lot of the dudes he don't like from Chicago are in Cali. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, LA and all the youngins was real hitters. The boys that be real hitters, they gotta move. They not. Dude, I'm telling y'all, the real hitters. There's ever been a real hitter, bro. They went to jail for a long time because they didn't work with the police. Second, if they was a real hitter and they beat the case and they came out, they had to be protected by the police because there's no way those guys get to work with the police, be a real hitter, and then you still included in hitter activities. Nah, they're gonna outcast you. Now you're a problem. So once you know this, you start looking at these guys different. Like, nah, hold on. Nah, it's not possible for him to still be doing that and he was doing this. Nah, it doesn't make sense. This don't make sense. How can he still be, you know what I mean? It don't be adding up. For the ones who be jealous of these people, that's why it's like, yo, bro, you don't even know what's going on. It was so many people jealous of French Montana, but it's like, yo, bro, French is on his last life left. This the most viral thing you heard about this guy in a while. Really? You ain't heard much about French Montana in a while except this. You know what I'm saying? So don't be envious of others, man. You don't really know what's really happening, man. A lot of these guys, they got a lot going on. I say they got a lot going on, fam. They got a lot going on. You wouldn't really know what's going on until you was in their situation. Then you would be like, nah. Nah, they do, because a lot of them telling themselves, a lot of them, man, they gotta read contracts, bro. In cases, a lot of these guys have contracts that change their whole life. Contract and what's in the terms of the contract are very important, man. And once you understand that, you go into business a little different, because sometimes, you know, the contracts, they get you. Them contracts will get you, man. But don't be envious of none of these people, bro. At the end of the day, a lot of the things they do is to maintain their lifestyle. Like, to maintain your lifestyle, you just gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to work or go to your business. That's all it takes to maintain your lifestyle. You ain't gotta do all this extra stuff. It's different. You heard? So this really is the best life we could live. Like, you don't want to be a French Montana and have to marry the princess of Dubai for money or relevancy or whatever it is he did it for. You know what I'm saying? He did it for something valuable. It wasn't just for love, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dudes on Twitter like, oh my God, I wish I was French. I wish I could be in that position. Bro, you don't know what rules this guy has with this girl, like this lady. What if he can't make mistakes or his life is over? You know what I mean? He playing with the princess of Dubai, man. Her dad don't look like he playing. Hey, her dad looks serious though, bro. The princess of Dubai dad, he look like a serious guy. He looking at French like, man, it's your chance with my daughter. Do not ruin it. You ruin it, we have a problem. So don't be, man. I couldn't tell you though, Paul Witt. That's why I said it looks like a business transaction, and unfortunately, man, that's probably what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because she already has a baby, bro. She's a single mom. It's weird. I feel like French Montana ain't just going for anybody with a single mom. It gotta be They gotta be on that status, but he said can't even make love without security. Right? It's like, bro, it's a whole different lifestyle this man just got involved in. It's not a normal lifestyle. It's different. So at the end of the day, you gotta be wondering like, why did he really do it? Was he living in Dubai? Has he been in Dubai this whole time? I mean, no. It's gotta be a business situation, man. You know what I mean? Because, bro, it's a lot of more people out there richer than French Montana and Dubai that could have married that lady. But I'm sure her dad was like, nah, you need to marry someone of status. What about French Montana, the American rapper? She's like, yeah. Because I'm sure they done had princes and all that they done have princes and all that try to marry that lady and all that, man. Younger moguls out there. You feel me? So don't be envious of these guys, man. She had to be with someone already, but it had to be a rich person, bro. It couldn't be just no regular person. It had to be a rich person. Because I don't think she could be the princess and somebody could knock her up and be able to dip. This person had to have just as much paper. Dude, that's what everybody's saying. Oh, French is going down as one of the greatest rappers, one of the greatest New Yorkers. Man, what? I wish I could be like him. Bro, old time, you never know. Dubai is strict, bro. So personally, I feel like French Montana out there, he's on strict guidelines. You know what I mean? He can't even smoke out there. Oh, man, I gotta go handle a quick business. You know what I'm saying? I will be live later, man. I gotta go handle a quick business transaction. Do not envy anyone out there, man. Live your life, enjoy your life. This is the best life. Make it the best. I'm out of here. I'll be back later.